Quays. My head is saying it's Quays, but here they call it keys. I think keys, gone off keys. Yes. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, I'm talking about top things to do upon arriving in the UK as an international student. The things you need to do first when you arrive. This is something I struggled with when I arrived in the UK. I was so confused as to what to do next. I kept going back and forth. Like I did a lot of journey in circles, like going here, going there, going here. And I had to keep calling people, calling my friends, like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? I've gotten this, what do I do next? So hopefully this video will help you get it right. And besides, this is January, so happy new year. And some students are coming in for the January intake. So hopefully someone out there or you watching will find this video helpful. And yes, before we go on, please subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button now. It's right here. Hit the subscribe button and let's get into it. Okay, so the very first thing to do upon arriving the UK as an international student is to find your department and register. So you want to ensure you find your department, get the timetable so you know what events they have for new students, for freshers. Make sure you get a hold of that. Find your department, find your timetable, and know what is going on in school. There are some universities that would send you the timetable before you get into school. So apparently my school also sent me the timetable before I came in, but because I had not accessed my email before then, that is my school email, I had not accessed it before then, I was unable to know what was going on, and I was in school, but yet I was missing out on the important things such as the welcome package, those seminars, the presentations by students that were defending their theses and all of that. So ensure you find your timetable, find your department, and know what's going on in the university. The second thing to do upon arriving in the UK is to get your biometric residency permit. Residence permit, BRP. So upon arriving in the UK, you have 10 days to collect this. If you don't collect it within 10 days, your visa might just be revoked. So when you arrive in the UK, first thing, after you found your department, first thing, just go and get your BRP. Your BRP is usually at the post office nearest to you, or sometimes your university might collect it from the post office for you. So if you don't find it at the post office, you can go to your university and then ask them if they've collected your BRP. Because when I went to the post office, a woman behind the table, she was like, oh, that my university might collect it for me if I want. I was like, no, I want to get it myself. So you can collect it yourself, or your university may collect it for you. It's because they are the sponsors of your visa, so they can collect your BRP. But ensure you have your BRP. So what is your BRP? Your BRP is what gives you the right to stay in the UK, residence permit, obviously, the right to stay in the UK, and also the right to work. So as a student, you're given 20 hours a week, and it depends on your visa. So on your BRP, you would see the hours you're allowed to work. On my BRP, for example, it is 20 hours a week, which is the norm for most international students in the UK. So it's 20 hours a week. Ensure you collect that, because it is your right to work and it is your right to stay in the UK. All right, and ensure you do not lose it. Like, keep it very secure, keep it very safe. Let me just show you what the BRP looks like. I'll cover my passport because so this is what the BRP looks like. It's just a residency permit, and then I don't know if you can see, let me show you where it says 20 hours max time. Can you see that? There's 20 hours max time, which means I am allowed to work 20 hours during term time, that is during lecture, like when school is in session, 20 hours a week. So moving right along, the third thing you should get upon arriving in the UK is go for your ID card. Your university will obviously be doing registration for freshers and new students. Try and get your ID card on time, because your ID card will give you access to a lot of the school facilities. For example, in my university, the University of Portsmouth, the ID card will give you free access to the university bus, which is a free service. It will give you access to the library and so many other things. So you want to ensure you get your ID card as soon as possible. But in order to collect your ID card, you need to have your BRP and your passport. So definitely, that's why I mentioned getting your BRP first, because once you get that, then you go with your passport and every other supporting documents to your university, register and get your ID card. In my university, I got the ID card the same day, which I think should be basically the same thing for all universities in the UK. I don't know, but I got mine that same day. I registered that day, got my ID card that same day, and entered the school bus that same day. I was balling. The fourth thing you should do upon arriving in the UK, which should have even been the first, is sort out your accommodation. Upon arriving in the UK, I don't know where you're staying, right? But I stayed with friends when I arrived. And then one of the things I had to do was to sort out my accommodation. So are you staying in the hostel? If you're staying in the hostel, it's even ideal that you book your place in the school accommodation, the school accommodation before you come, because sometimes these spaces go out quickly because lots of students would rather stay close to the university or stay in the university buildings, okay? But the only thing is that university buildings are generally more expensive than living outside. So weigh the options, weigh the pros and the cons, weigh the things that you value and the things you want. So, and also check your pocket. If your pocket can take you in the university buildings, fine, go for it. University accommodation is really good. You get cleaners, people come in, they clean for you. You know, you just leave and you're happy. But if you're staying in a shared apartment, you would have to do like cleaning, washing, and all of that. You have to share it with people. And sometimes it depends on the kind of roommates you have or the flatmates you have. These people might not be willing to do their part, and it gets really frustrating. So just know what you want. So sort your accommodation. It is really important, because when I get to the next step, you'll see why it's important that you sort your accommodation on time. So if you want to get accommodation, start looking for houses and go, what's it called? Is it house scene? Go and see the houses yourself. Like if you're already in the UK, go and see the houses. So you check out the space, you check out the ambience, and be sure that it works for you. Okay. The fifth thing to do upon arriving in the UK is to open a bank account. Open a bank account. It depends on the kind of account you have. When I came here from Nigeria, the accounts I had were not going to function here. Do you get? So I had to open accounts here in the UK. So you might want to consider the banks that are close to you or the bank you like. Me, for example, I opened an account with Barclays Bank, not because of anything, but just because ever since I was in Nigeria, the bank I've always heard about in the UK is Barclays. I don't know why. Maybe my friends, all of them were using Barclays. So when I came here, I just opened an account with Barclays Bank. In order to open your account, you would need first a letter from your school, which is called the bank letter. So you just go to your school and tell them you want to open an account. They'll give you a letter with your university as the letterhead. So you have that. They will need your BRP, they will need your passport, and then they will need your house address. Not all banks require this, but Barclays, for example, they will require that you have a house address, and they would like to see your tenancy agreement. Or if you stay in the university accommodation, they would like to see your living agreement or something. So you definitely need to have an accommodation in order to open a bank, but not in all cases. Because I think for Lloyd's Bank, you can open an account without having accommodation. So it depends. And also for most of the banks here, you don't need any money to open the accounts. You know, in Nigeria, we have what they call minimum opening balance, something like that, minimum opening balance or so. But here you don't need money to open the account, so just open it and just know you have that sorted. Okay. The sixth thing to do is to apply for your NI number. NI number is known as national insurance. For some reason I call it NIN. Don't judge me. Get your NIN. But basically it's NI number, national insurance. This is what your employers, like if you intend getting a job, you would need an NI number, because this is what they'll use to deduct your insurance and know how much you're supposed to pay as tax or something like that. So when you arrive in the UK, the site to get your NI number is www.gov.uk. Then you search NI number. How the process works is this: when you get to the page of NI registration or application, you see phone numbers there. So you call them and tell them you want to apply for NI number. I think they'll ask you why. You say because you want to work, you're a student, yada yada. Then they'll give you a date for an interview. So on the interview date, you go there. The place they will send you to is called a job center plus. They'll send you to the nearest job center plus to you. When I did mine, I stay in Portsmouth. So my job center plus was in Brighton. So I had to go to Brighton to do my interview. And then you go with your passport, your BRP, and just go with every other document. I can't remember all the documents they asked me for, but go with every other document. And besides, this process is free. You don't have to pay for any application fee. There's nothing like that. So you just go for the interview. They want to see you. They would ask you a couple of questions, nothing too serious. And then voila, a few days later, they'll send your NI number in a mail to your address. Okay? Very important step. Don't skip it. Now, the seventh thing to do after getting your NI number, if you want to work, like if you want to use your 20 hours of work, you have to start looking for jobs. So a really good place to start is your university's careers and employability service. I don't know what it will be called in your university, but generally what they do is they handle applications, job applications, they handle volunteering stuff, placements, and all of that good things. So you need to find them in your school and just go there and let them know, oh, you're looking for a job, because they would help you find jobs that are suitable for you as a student with a 20-hour restriction. Now, one thing you should know about working in the UK is this: when it comes to your 20-hour restriction, it is up to you to ensure you do not exceed it. Like, your employer will not be bothered. Like, they're not going to be bothered about it. As long as they know you have the right to work in the UK, which is your BRP, and you have the right to stay in the UK, they are fine. They'll give you the job. But for you to exceed your 20 hours limit, that is on you, babe. That is on you, guy. Like, it is on you. You have to ensure you don't exceed it, because when you exceed it, my dear, there are penalties for it. One of the penalties is that your school, which is your sponsor, like they're the sponsor of your visa, they could revoke your visa, and then, deportation, and then you're back to square one. So basically, just ensure you stick to your 20-hour limit. Do not exceed it. And the thing is, even your volunteering work counts as work. Even though it's free work, it counts under the 20-hour limit. So ensure both your paid work and your free work in a week does not exceed 20 hours. Okay, there are other sites you could check for jobs like Indeed, Reed, Guardian Jobs, and all of that. Another good way to find jobs is retail stores near you. So in your environment, there might be retail stores. If you're into that, it might be retail stores that are looking for, supervisor, sales manager, sales assistant. For example, here in Portsmouth, we have Gunworth Keys. So in Gunworth Keys, I found it hard to pronounce that. It's spelled Quays. My head is saying it's Quays, but here they call it Keys. I think Keys, Gunworth Keys. Yes. So in Gunworth Keys, they have like lots of shops, and usually there are vacancies there. So if you just take a walk there, you might see one or two openings or vacancies that you could easily apply for. The eighth thing to do upon arriving in the UK, which is actually a bonus, is start thinking of the end from now. Start thinking of the end from now. Like, time is of essence, you guys. So if you would like to stay back in the UK, if you would want to work after your studies, begin to apply for a job now. Like right now, as I'm talking now, you should be opening like Google and start looking for jobs in your niche, in your area of study. So you need to start applying for a job as soon as possible. When I heard that, it was very different for me, because in Nigeria, you don't start applying for a job in your last year of uni. It's when you're done and you have graduated that you start looking for a job. But contrary, in this place, you have to start looking for a job even before you graduate, and you can write and submit CVs as a student. So basically, you list out all your modules that are really important to that role and state the things that you do or the things you're doing under each of those modules. Like, your careers and employability office in your school generally help you write a CV as a student, and then you start applying now. Now. And when I say now, I'm talking about mostly like master students, because generally the masters in the UK is 1 year. So you have just 1 year, and that 1 year is not 1 year, it's like 11 months or 8 months. I don't know, but you get what I mean. So you need to start applying as soon as you arrive. But if you are an undergraduate student, there's no need to rush. You can start applying on the last year. Like, if it's a 3 years course, by the third year, you should start applying for jobs, because that's how it works in this system. Whew. I've been talking for longer, tired. Guys, so that'll be all. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share this video with someone, and most importantly, please subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Till next time, guys.